Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from MouseSteps.com.
And this is episode number 536.
536.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. While today we're talking all about the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, which runs through June 2nd. And of course you can book with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for that. But there is also so much more, including the Disney Starlight Nighttime Parade coming this summer to the Magic Kingdom, as well as the 70th anniversary of Disneyland and the Disney Music Festival at Disneyland Paris. So all of that is coming in the next couple months.
And the Disney Destiny cruise ship.
And that's later this year. So much to look forward to. So head to their website, fill out that no obligation quote.
And as you mentioned, this week the show is all about the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
And it is celebrating 30 years, which is hard to believe. We have been covering it for like 2/3 of that, just about. A long time.
We've been attending it for all 30,
yes.
At least I have.
And so right now we're looking at the newest topiary display, which is the Moana 2 topiary display. And you've got here Maui. That hook lights up.
Right. Who
which
knew?
I was surprised at.
Very impressive at night.
Yeah, it looked really cool. And you've got Hei, Pua, and Moana all here at the front. And Pua has Hei on his back.
Yeah, very popular. I think these are great. This is a great addition. These are the only new topiary for the festival as far as I could tell. Maybe the ones that are the Orange Bird 30th ones, but they were similar. They were there,
they had them
but
last
a different
year,
theming. But these are completely new for this year.
Right. It's really, they always have some new topiaries each year, and the last few years they've had like whatever the newest film is become the entrance topiary.
We had Wish. Wish was last year in this position.
Right, Wish, and then the year before was Encanto. So that's kind of been the theme of the entrance topiaries over the last few years.
And I like having the sand because the sand here kind of reminds me of years past. There was one year, maybe about 12 years ago, where they had a motif with sand on the beach. I think it was the classic Mickey Minnie characters with shell. Remember the shells?
Yes. I will say, I mean, the entrance topiary is, they kind of are a lot smaller than they used to be, but they still are really, like us come in and it's like, oh, Moana, and they're so popular.
And of course, we always talk about the detail. Look at the detail in Moana's face. Her face itself is not a plant, but there's plant around it. Here is Maui's tattoos. They look fantastic. So much detail. And again, his face. But there is growing plants in, mixed in with all this. But he himself, his face is not growing.
Right. I mean, some people would say they're not, I don't want to say true topiaries in the sense.
Topiary.
Right. Like over 10 years ago, I think 2014, they started making more the facial features. And actually, I mean, they look great. And so I'm really a big fan of it. You've got here Asha and Valentino and Star. They debuted last year as the entrance topiary.
Right. And now they are in World Celebration.
Is that? No, I think this is World Nature.
Oh, yeah, that's right. World Nature because it's on, yes.
I still call it Future World most of the time because it's easier for me to say one thing. Who knows where the boundaries are? I am not sure. So here is Woody, Bo Peep, and the sheep. And they are from Toy Story 4. And they debuted about 5 years ago. I think 2019.
Very popular still.
Yes. And so there was a time you would see Woody with Buzz, but Buzz has been in front of Mission Space for a very long time.
And remember Lotso? They used to have the essence of strawberries, and we would walk by and you could smell, and then Lotso would kind of grow in and he'd become more and more pink. It was very cool.
And here is Communicore Hall, and they have, done a little something. And here it's not like the Epcot International Festival of the Arts where they had that amazing, Disney on Broadway exhibit. It's nice. There's little bits of exhibit in here. And I like the music.
It certainly fits the festival, and I did enjoy some of the different displays they had.
Right, but there's not a lot. And you've got Spike the Bee here. He's also on the ceiling. I think you just showed that.
Yep.
And so I like the music. It's, music that you'll recognize from Epcot and, like the Ratatouille theme.
And here's some of our favorite topiary. They are concept of those.
And
Maquettes.
all of the topiaries are pretty much my favorite topiaries. You've got Phineas and Ferb here, who we'll see probably in a few minutes, and they are not new for this year, but they are returning for this year. And you've got Figment and Anna and Elsa. There's over 60 character topiaries.
And there's the floating gardens. It's nice to see that up close. Normally you have to kind of see them from a distance.
Right. And so we're just kind of taking a look at the little displays in here. And also you've got a Mickey Mouse, just like the wire frame for the topiary.
And we should mention there is a rotating menu of different dining in this pavilion.
By rotating, they have like two different, like a spring and a summer menu.
Right.
So if you're looking for, there's like, I think over 20 outdoor kitchens. I don't have that in front of me, but I believe that's correct. And so one of those kitchens is in here.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And so here is Orange Bird. It looks like the Loungefly Orange Bird ears. And you mentioned that it's different this year. It's different because
it was over by Mexico last year.
But the Loungefly ears were different last year.
The Inside Out 2 Emotion Garden.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're joyful or sad or anxious, there is a plant for you. And so you've got, they say sad plants, I guess just because of the color.
Right.
It's like, here's a blue plant, here's a yellow plant, there is a green plant, which a lot of plants are green, so I don't know if that means they're all disgusting. And then the angry red plant. So, this is a cute little garden if you're looking for... There's actually... We're not going to show all the gardens around the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, but this will probably be one of the more popular ones.
Yeah, I thought it was very creative, very interesting. I even though I wanted to record all this for the show, I took my time and I read it, and I thought it was very interesting in person. And you can smell, everything is better in person because you can really smell all the plants and flowers.
Right, and you want to kind of get up close to them so you can get, the full experience. So here is Butterfly Landing.
It looks like there's butterflies outside.
Yeah.
They're loose.
And when we first went in, this is a butterfly tent. They've had it forever. I didn't see any butterflies for like the first 2/3, and all of a sudden I saw a bunch of butterflies.
Yeah, they were all in the back corner for some reason.
And it had been a cold morning.
It was.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a reason. And they're essentially growing a lot of butterflies, so you could see that. So you can just kind of take a look. Here they are. And it's always interesting when you see them, and none of them were breaking through on this day.
But sometimes we've watched them.
Yeah.
Would the word be hatch?
I guess you would call it that. It's been a long time since I've even thought about it. And there is one of the butterflies.
And I wasn't sure if that one was real, but it definitely was real because it flew away right after I shot that. And then I kind of followed where the butterfly went, and there's a bunch of friends there.
Yeah,
and they're all kind of moving around.
I noticed that. It was like I didn't see any, and all of a sudden I see like 6, and they're all the same kind, as far as like the same colors on them.
Yeah, so it was good. I enjoyed the butterfly tent this year.
And you can see there's a few butterfly topiaries around. And they look really beautiful as well. And again, this is my favorite time of year at Epcot.
So we decided to try some different food. So we're going to kind of scatter those throughout the show. This was the beach grub. New was the seafood bake with the shrimp and mussels and clams and all the things that I like.
Sausage and all, yeah. And so that was for Jeff. And then the s'mores bar was more for me.
But
and
you were able
too.
to enjoy some of the bake.
Just a tiny bit. I had
some of the potatoes.
Yeah, I had a little bit of the potato, but I don't eat seafood, and I had a little bit of corn.
This was very generous, though. There was you can't see it, but there's another good-sized shrimp underneath all this in the broth. There was 2 sausages. You have the corn, you have the bread, and you have all the clams and mussels and things. I loved it. I would get that again. It was very good.
And then we had the s'mores bar, and I thought that was
delicious.
I said decadent.
It was decadent.
I thought it was very nice, and
they went well for a seafood fan. It went well together.
Even though there's no seafood in that s'mores bar.
Well, no, but it was a good finish. Nice chocolate finish.
And I
loved it.
And we had this nice table over by the garden, and so they have Play Along Bay. It's a it's a playground, and I thought it was funny because Stormalong Bay is right now closed.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was funny that they themed it off of the Stormalong Bay, which is in a lengthy refurbishment right now until probably June. So anyway, and also the yacht grub and beach grub.
Right.
Those are also, like Yacht Club, Beach Club.
Perhaps it was planned before the renovation.
That's
was happening.
possible. And so you have also Uncrustables. I think that they give them out sometimes there as well. We didn't see that. And now we see the Encanto display with the various characters. And that 2 years ago debuted as the entrance topiary.
Yeah, so back for its third year. You could see when you go in on Maribel at night, this butterfly lights up. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. Another one of those special things that happen after dark.
Right, and not all the topiaries have lighting, but they do, and really many of the topiaries do, but not like the Winnie the Pooh topiaries didn't.
And another great sculpt. I mean, all of these are really perfect on model. They look fantastic.
Yeah, I think I remember when we saw Roger Gould, like Disney itself, like Disney Animation comes in and they make sure that these characters are on model, mm-hmm. and they probably are doing that every year, but I actually got to see it a couple of years ago.
Once again, the English Tea Garden offers tours for free this year. You have to sign up, but they have various tea tours, which we've done. We'll have to do that again this year.
I miss when they had the paid tour, because we really enjoyed that.
With
you
the
get
scone.
A scone.
Yeah, that was good.
It was
that
just
was a very good one. It probably didn't sell well, but we enjoyed it.
I think it sold okay, but a lot of, they don't really do that type of thing as much anymore. The seminars and some of the tour type, there's not as much of that going on anymore.
And we drink Twinings tea all the
we
time.
Do.
As a matter of fact, right now.
From France.
In our cups here. This was nice. This is something you discovered, this little display in the back of the UK pavilion.
Right. So they talk about, topiary at the Disney parks. It's essentially... that's what it is. Really, almost the beginnings of the topiaries.
Mention of Bill Evans.
Yes, he's mentioned all through this.
It's amazing, and I like all the. I like all the history. Learning about that, and of course, seeing how the topiary is done, the different kinds of topiary.
And they're showing, the basic topiaries, and you've got this also the wireframe and such.
So while we were there, we had a little surprise character meet. Here we have Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh, and he was very animated. You enjoyed also. I think you got a chance to meet Rabbit as well.
I posted a little clip of Rabbit on Facebook, and he got so far he's at 165,000 views, which
people love Rabbit.
People do, and so also Gepetto was here. I will say they used to have more characters at these surprise meet and greets most of the time, but most of the time lately we've seen 2.
And in a way, it's a little better when you only have a few, because it's not as crazy as when you have 6 or 7 out there.
Well, but then all the guests go to the couple, the 2.
But it's good to see Gepetto here. He meets regularly at Disneyland Paris,
yes.
Not so much at Walt Disney World with Pinocchio. So at Disney World, you're only going to see him on one of these little surprises.
And they were more wandering. They didn't really have a line. Him and... he was with Rabbit, but then he also was with Tigger later.
And we've seen other characters recently. As a matter of fact, yesterday we saw Rafiki in a similar
with
surprise.
Gepetto.
Yes,
over
with Gepetto.
by the America Pavilion.
And now we're in France here, and we're looking at Lumiere and Cogsworth.
And we also went to see Impressions de France. That is so hard to see in the morning. You have to get there so, boom, quick.
And I want you to notice Cogsworth was not ticking this on this day, but later on in the show we're going to show what he looked like after dark at night, and the ticking motion was going, and Lumiere's fire was in full force.
I didn't notice his arms are red, which is something I don't remember from other years. So here are Belle and Beast. They have been here many years now, looking very similar when Belle received her new face.
And Belle might be the second of the upgraded topiary. Of course, Snow White would have been the first debut version of that.
Well, Elsa and Anna also very quickly debuted in, I think, 2015. So it was around then, 2015, 2016, when Belle came on board with this new look. This is why we don't see, Princess Aurora yet with... out.
We've seen Princess Aurora, but that was before. I don't think she has a sculpted look.
Right, they would have to have her sculpted to be able to come out and she used to not. So.
And this is a nice display of dresses here in the France Pavilion.
I thought that was, I thought it was really nice. Like we were just sitting eating, and I thought that was nice. And we watched that squirrel enjoying a strawberry.
And the Bromeliad Dragon, his new location here in Japan.
But
Pavilion.
not Bromeliad anymore.
Right, he's not. I should say he used to be Bromeliad Dragon
in China,
and then he moved him to. It looks like he has succulents.
Right, succulents, and then also he got a completely new look, new face, new, very new, but I guess the same body.
You know what I have to say? Why not two dragons? I would love to see the Bromeliad dragon return to China. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I love the Bromeliad dragon. Then we went upstairs to Mitsukoshi and looked down. And here is Princess Tiana. She debuted, I think, about 3 years ago as well. And she is in the America Pavilion again.
Yeah, another one. Very well done. All of these are I have not yet seen one I didn't think was perfect. Very, very
well, they do
accurate
such
as we said, we keep saying on model, but it really applies.
I mean, they really make sure they are. And here are Lady and the Tramp. I don't remember when there was no Lady and the Tramp here in the Italy Pavilion. It's been a really long time. There might have been a year we didn't see them.
They've moved, but yeah, they've been in Italy forever.
They've been...
at least 15 years.
They've been in this area for like several years now. Really a good location for them.
Now we are in Germany.
Gnomes, right? And,
you
they're
have
not
to use your
based...
imagination a little bit with these because they don't have that full finished looks, but I really like them. I think they're charming.
I agree. And so it's like a gnome garden, I believe they would call it.
I think that's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah, and so just a cute little area across from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, including Dopey. So Snow White received her new look, and she was the first one. Also,
the original,
the hands, in 2014. Then eventually Dopey received a new look as well, but you didn't see the rest of the dwarves.
Yeah, for years you only had Dopey and Snow White. So then one year we were all surprised to have the rest of the dwarfs, and we're going to take a look at them in just a second.
And I'm not sure if Dopey is correctly sized with them, which is why Dopey's with Snow White and they are over here, I believe.
Oh, very good observation.
No, I believe that's what I heard. True. I believe that's what I've heard. So, but all the rest of the dwarfs are over here, and really just a fantastic flower bed and topiaries.
And don't forget, there's a little bonus that we sometimes miss. It's this little caterpillar here.
And I forget the name of it. It's from a movie, and I wrote it down, but it doesn't matter. It's going the wrong way. The little caterpillar is going the wrong way because in other years,
last
couple
year,
years,
he's looking at the dwarf.
So I have to see if they turn it around.
He could have been turned around and somebody unturned him around, so you never know. But another good observation. Let's talk about and look at some merchandise, this year's festival merchandise. I think we have most of it.
There is... Well, we don't have most of it. We didn't buy anything.
I think we've captured most of it. We didn't buy all of it, that's for sure.
So
not yet anyway.
We haven't bought any of it yet, but I do like the Spirit jersey, although I think and all of this that we're looking at right now is Orange Bird. The material feels like a towel, which I thought was very interesting, but not inside, but on the outside it does. And you have all of this apparel. We've got, I believe... Is that a corksicle?
I believe that's like a corksicle. I like the mug. I'm considering the mug, especially because I like the 30th anniversary. I love Orange Bird, and it's kind of like an orange. So that's something I'm thinking about.
And a salt and pepper shaker. And a lot of the merchandise mentions the 30th anniversary of this festival. And then you've got this Feelin' Happy Orange Bird.
Kind of like the hat too, thinking about that also. A lot to think about.
You've got that 30 years on the back. I'll probably get something, but I don't know what yet. There's a lot to choose from, a lot of Orange Bird. So if you like the Orange Bird, who, the Orange Bird was like in the 1970s was very popular, I think, at the Magic Kingdom. Did you meet the Orange Bird?
I didn't. I never did, but I always went and had those oranges.
Right, I did too.
Put that little thing in the orange so you could have the juice out of it. I enjoyed that from the 70s. That was by the Tiki Room.
And then, quite some time ago, Orange Bird made a triumphant return, as you would say, to the Magic Kingdom as far as the Sunshine Tree Terrace, and has been popular ever since.
He's kind of like Figment. He's the unofficial mascot of the festival these
Yes.
days.
Well, Figment for the Epcot International Festival of the Arts, and Orange Bird here, and
That's
Spike
what
the
I was
Bee
going
now.
for. Yes, and Spike too.
You know, they've really utilized him.
But this is perfect for springtime. You have
Alice in Wonderland.
Yes. I really like all of this as well. So there's a lot to like this year.
I really think the ears are very nice. I thought it was interesting with like the caterpillar on one of the ears.
And we have some lounge flies here.
And that this is, I think Spike the Bee, yes, is on here as well. You have Orange Bird and Spike the Bee in a Loungefly mini backpack.
And some of this is available online, you said?
Well, I don't know what's available at the moment, but 20 items arrived at the Disney store last week.
And we have more Spike the Bee. We're going to look at some of his items here. We have Lug.
But doesn't he look like Mickey Mouse there?
He does.
Like,
I've always thought
face
that.
looks like
This is one of my favorite items here, the garden stake. I may even have to get this one because it's so unique, and I think it's life size.
Well, it's similar to what you'll find in the scavenger hunt around World Showcase.
And I see some Tervis there. We're going to look at these are a different version of the trash cans, the Spike ones.
And, you know, a number of years ago, I had never even heard of Spike the Bee. And all of a sudden, he became like the second mascot for the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
Yeah, he really is. Really is. So.
But he still looks like Mickey Mouse now. Like, I never thought that. And all of a sudden, I'm like, is that Mickey? No, it's Spike the Bee.
And the Spike's pollination exploration, that looks like it'll be fun to do because you can get an orange bird, or I think there's 3 other different. It's one
It's
of
like
these
a tiny little watering can,
watering
like
can,
really
that's right.
tiny. So here we are in the China Pavilion. Very quickly, we made it to the China Pavilion. Now we're at the.
Very briefly, we're just looking.
We're just looking at things. So,
but after all that walking, we're hungry.
The bonsai
again.
plant,
We are
the bonsai
hungry
trees.
again. So we are in Canada. This is the Canada Pavilion.
and I forgot to write this down, but we get this. This is like our 3rd year at least getting these beef tenderloin tips, which are very good. I think they always taste a little salty, but I like them. And they have a good amount of mashed potatoes.
It's definitely a favorite of ours. It's a returning favorite. It's delicious, and it really pairs well with this. What is it? It has whiskey flavoring.
Yeah, it's like a chocolate whiskey cake. So, again, I forgot to write this down. But that is a very generous portion of cake. And between the 2 items, it pretty much fills us up for quite some time.
Yeah, we ended up eating multiple
We
times.
split it.
Yeah, it was really good, though. And now it's time to look at the citrus blossom here.
And the citrus blossom, you can come in here and get, I don't even remember if you can get something to eat.
Yes,
Definitely
yeah.
something
there's,
to drink.
There's beer flights. There's various flights of different things.
You can't eat a beer flight.
Well, but there's I think there is food too.
And so we haven't bought anything here. And so you can see greetings from probably the orange bird. As you see the
Yes.
orange bird. And Buzz Lightyear has been around a very long time as well, but in different areas around the park. But he has been here at Mission Space, for
Probably
at
a
least 5
decade.
years or
Oh,
so.
maybe
I
more.
don't know about that. Remember Stitch used to be here.
That's true. Stitch.
For many years as well, I think.
Yeah, but it's been a while. It's been a while. Donald has been having this bee on his forehead
Every
for
year,
years and years, and he can't seem to get him off.
And this is, they call it a community garden. And here is the Spike the Bee.
So I guess this spike is a little bigger. I'll have to compare the spikes. Maybe
you should
we'll
get
buy
one.
the other spike and compare it.
And so you have the nephews as well. And they're in a little different place than last year. And really, they have been around for a number of years as well now. Oh, and we have moved to kind of the center area of World Celebration, not too far from Communicore Hall. And you can see Ticket Tack from Chippendale. And you've got Minnie Mouse and Pluto and Mickey, and they're enjoying a spring day.
And I say this every year. It's so beautiful, but they're missing a character. They need to bring
Goofy.
back that giant Goofy.
Yeah, I don't. And maybe he was too big.
Yeah, that's
off
possible.
model.
It's been a number of years since Goofy's been out.
And then Phineas and Ferb, they are nearby as well.
We've shown them in past shows.
But now Phineas is holding a little bouquet.
Yes.
He's gotten themed.
He's enhanced.
And here is Figment, and Figment has been over by his attraction as well. but he is here in the center also of World Celebration.
And Figment is very well done. Like there's a lot in him that
Succulent.
is growing. The succulent, yeah, that's actually alive. So I like that.
And so there's at least two trash cans. There's a Spike the Bee trash can. I can't help but think he looks like Mickey Mouse still.
What a life
Now
that
I cannot help.
we're covering the themed trash cans.
He doesn't look like Mickey there, though. So buzzing around, you've got also the orange bird
Peel
trash
and Happy.
can.
What a pun.
They need to have it where you can open it and hear them now.
That's a brilliant idea. They've had that in the
Yes,
past.
that's
of
why
course.
I'm saying it. I think that would be fun.
But it is interesting. There's only two, at least that we
know.
found, of these themed cans.
And I think it's nice to have a little theming. So we are here. I think we were here for the concert, right?
That's right. This is last
we're
night.
watching...
It is nighttime, and you happen to notice that they're putting the barges out for Luminous, and we haven't, at least I haven't seen it like in this close proximity before. So they're getting ready for this night show. But we're here for a concert.
Yes, and the first one looked like a ferry boat or something. Like I took video of that prior.
Look at that crowd, huge crowd.
It was so busy. We went to go see Air Supply, they're celebrating 50 years.
50 years.
I saw them around 1980 when I was a kid. But it's so hard to, I want to say a kid, I was like a teenager. But here are, it would be Russell Hitchcock and Graham Russell.
Both 75.
Yeah,
and
about 75.
They sound great.
And especially Russell Hitchcock, who just kept hitting those notes and really sounded so much like he did, almost 50 years ago.
And let's talk about the popularity of the concerts. We wanted to see the first concert. We lined up over an hour before the concert was going to start, and maybe an hour and 15 minutes, like
at least.
Quite early. And they didn't load up.
Load us until 20 minutes before the concert started.
The concert started at 5:30, so like 5:10. It was a long wait and very, very popular. And then we went back. We enjoyed the show so much we wanted to see him again. We went back for the second show, and we only had to wait like 15 minutes. So we learned a good lesson. That first show is really the hardest one to get in.
And we've known that before, but I think they used to kind of load you in earlier.
I think so too.
And then we booked Rick Springfield for a Spice Road
because
table.
we were standing outside in the hot sweating. We said, you know what, we're going to book this next one, and then we'll review that.
Yeah.
It'll be something fun. Tangerine Cafe, one of our returning favorites. It's the chicken kebab.
Right, and so
we wanted something healthy.
We were hungry and we thought about fries, but instead we ended up getting some chicken kebabs with the carrot chickpea salad, which was pretty good,
And they have a different cake than we've had before. We'll have to try that.
But we didn't have it.
And here comes the sunset here, where the topiaries are beautifully illuminated at night. There's not as much night now that we had the time change yesterday, so you're getting less time with the darkness.
Well, I actually prefer this time, right here where we're looking at Kermit and Miss Piggy, because you can see the lighting, but you can also see them like it's daylight as well, so with that extra little bit of lighting. And so this is actually right here my favorite time, and I just wish...
It's such a limited time, though. It doesn't last very long.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just, I wish I could see all the topiaries like this.
And of course, it's now getting darker. We're going to revisit a few topiaries. We have Belle and Beast. And see, you have Cogsworth. He's now ticking. You could see his, whatever his ticker is going. But
his pendulum.
I especially like Lumiere, though. His flames are actually flaming, so it looks great.
Well, it looks almost like, it reminds me a bit of the Olympic torch in France.
Yes. Yeah, you're right about that. And now we have Tick Tock Croc here, and we're going to see Peter Pan.
And you mentioned like the lighting is a bit harsh here from above, but still very nice. And also Mickey, Minnie, Pluto.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
with
it looks
flickering.
really good.
And of course, there's always the Spaceship Earth shows, and they do have a couple shows. I think there's a Pocahontas themed show for the festival. And we're going to take one last look at the Moana topiary, and you could see Maui's hook is illuminated. That was a surprise to us.
And I wonder, when you
Looks
look
like
at
it's
it,
projected.
When you look at it straight on, though, like Maui's kind of in the dark and Moana's in the light. So I think they need to
adjust.
Adjust that a bit.
But anyway, so we enjoyed the festival thoroughly. As we mentioned, we're going to go back and try the concert.
We've gone back so many times.
We've actually been many, many times. But we'll be back to try that dinner package for
Right.
the Rick Springfield concert and report back at probably on our next show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Head to their website, fill out that no obligation quote. So much is going on this year in the Disney, we'll call it the Disney realm, but not only that.
We forgot to mention at the beginning, Epic Universe, is coming fast.
I'm so excited about Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort. That's something that we're ready for.
And it's only about 2 months away, a little over 2 months.
Just over 2 months away till
and we
the
do
opening.
have our opening day tickets purchased, so we will be there as long as everything works out.
I'm so excited, but I'm also excited for Paint the Night at Disneyland for
so
the 70th
much
anniversary.
And we'll be seeing that first. All
Yeah.
that stuff will start before Epic opens.
May is going to be a big month.
Right. So and let's not forget April, Disneyland Paris, brand new festival. That'll be very, very exciting.
Right, the Disney Music Festival, and I just think that looks like a very ambitious event, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
So thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.